Josh, would you consider yourself a star performer?
Yes, I would.
Really?
I try really hard,
Like,
by the
full of
way.
yourself?
Yeah,
Like,
I
disgusting.
do try hard at work. Let me
Okay,
just tell you
okay.
that.
All right, uh-huh.
Mm-mm.
Well, you might be actually being punished for trying so hard.
Oh no,
So,
that's not good.
so there is a new term called performance punishment. Can you
I've,
guess what that means? Have you heard this
no,
before?
I have not heard that term before. What I could loosely imagine it being is that you'll be punished for doing a good job.
That's pretty much it. So imagine this: you have two different workers. One is doing a great job, and the other two are just doing average to bad. It's like, who do you give more work to?
You, oh my God, you would give it to the person that you know is going to do a good job.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
star person,
yeah.
and then that person gets a bunch of work but doesn't get paid anymore.
Okay, yeah.
And
See,
that's the issue. So you're getting punished by having these like additional duties or additional like workload, but you're not actually getting paid more. Some people call them silent promotions,
oh my God.
but you're not actually getting promoted or paid more.
I feel like a lot of people could like empathize with this
Mm.
because like I'm pretty sure everyone's been in that situation where they've been given more work but not a promotion or not any type of
Monetary, like,
monetary compensation.
yeah. So there are different ways to get around it, supposedly, but I feel like a lot of it's on the manager and having them be, I guess, understanding what they're doing,
Hmm.
because like you don't realize that you're punishing them, because like a lot of times there's the whole idea that you need to make your top workers happy and by giving them more responsibility, and that might not always be the case. But we'll continue with this conversation after you consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button. We come on interesting topics like this one all the time, so make sure to hit that subscribe button to learn more. So yeah.
I do have a couple of things to
Really?
say about this. And you want to know what? I will give some advice, by the way, to our
Oh.
listeners, to our viewers.
Oh.
I will give some advice and say, if this happens to you, make sure you put anything down on your resume because
That's fair.
you're obviously getting more work than the other people, so you should at least document that down because if you go and look for another job, you'll have a leg up compared to the other people. And if they
That's
keep
fair.
on giving you more work, go look for another job.
Yeah,
Because from the sounds of it, you're just going to keep on getting punished.
that yeah,
Yeah.
potentially punish. I mean, it depends on your manager. But one thing is to like to add on to that is to develop your skills throughout the year.
Hmm.
So if you're also increasing your abilities while you're getting more work,
Yeah.
then it's fine. Well, maybe not fine per se, but as long as you're able to show like steady improvement versus like if you do this more work, that doesn't exactly mean you're ready for the next promotion.
Yeah.
It's just like you're just really good at one area. So that's the other issue when it comes to performance punishment is that you might get so good at a task.
That they just keep you in the task
Yes.
and then they give other types of work to other people.
Yeah, other types of work that are broadening, that
Yeah.
then they could take maybe the managerial, the supervisory role, because you're obviously too busy with your task to take up more responsibilities in supervising.
Yeah, and I don't think they would want to move you from a task that you're really good at
No.
because it's like if they bring in another person who's not as good,
Mhm.
then they'll what's it called? They're not going to do as good of a job. So why would they move you? But
That's true.
also, what do you think about this? What do you think about getting ahead of it by asking for more work, but broadening work, different type of work from your manager?
I think
Like,
that it depends on the manager, I think.
yeah, I think all of this, the buck stops with the manager. I
Mm,
I
I
guess.
think sometimes it can be on you as well, because like you can really direct your career at most points, but it depends on how like if you're like how senior you are,
Hmm.
because if you're just getting there, it's gonna look like you're kind of arrogant. Like there's other people that have been there longer that
Yeah,
like
true.
potentially could be seen as like the next in line potentially, and you haven't exactly shown that you're able to. But I mean, putting it out there that you want more responsibilities in that, I think looks good.
I think, yeah, I do think that looks a little good.
Except
Oh no, never mind.
Except when it comes to people who might be, I guess, insecure with their position. So like if you're
Oh yeah.
over here saying like, oh, I want to, get do more supervisory stuff, do more get more work to do, um they might feel like you're trying to take their job.
Oh, and I didn't even think about that, to
Yeah.
be honest.
So
Yeah.
if you're like being too good, they're like, well, I can't
He's
have
coming from
this.
my
He's
job.
coming for my job. He wants to take me out. So
Oh my
they
God.
might consider that like you as a threat because you're moving up really quickly.
Yeah, but you know what? I always think about this. It's like if you're a manager, you would
Mhm.
want to set up your employees up for success. Even if that means like that they could potentially manage up and be able to what is it, make bigger and broader decisions that you might not have thought of and
Mhm.
like showcase more. Especially like in a company, I feel like it just makes the boss look good. It's like you've directed this employee
Mhm.
to be a superstar, and now it's like you cultivated that relationship with them, and now they're thriving in this position.
Yeah.
I would imagine that it just makes the manager look good.
Yeah. Or makes you look bad by comparison.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
It's like,
that
why
is
can't
true.
you be more like the guy he trained?
Oh God.
You learned everything you knew in like
in,
two
in
weeks.
2 weeks, and now he's managing up and doing all of these things.
Yeah. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Oh God.
So we didn't realize how bad of a job you're
Mm.
doing until we met this
So
guy.
so okay, but to get on the other side
Mhm.
of it, do you think it's better to be the superstar worker, or to be the mediocre worker? Potentially being a mediocre worker, getting more broadening work.
Mhm.
Do you think that's better or worse?
Mm,
Who would you be?
I think you'd want to be closer to the high performer side because you don't want to be. The thing is that there are two sides of the coin again. Because if you're too good at your job, there's like you would think like, oh, you're not you might be safe from
Yeah,
being let go. However, if you're that good, a lot of times you're being paid more.
that is true.
So the company might look at it as like, well, you're doing really well. However, we could pay like you get two other lower paid people to do your job, but they do half the work you do, or like they don't do as much work as you do, but we get two of them for
Hmm.
one of you, so you're gone.
Yeah, they
So
outsource my job.
you could get outsourced too,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I think truthfully you shouldn't be like sandbagging yourself,
Yeah, I believe that.
but I think you should have clear expectations in terms of like where you want to go
Hmm.
in the company or whatever you
A
want.
clear career path.
Yeah, or like what are you looking to get out of it at the roles? Like, do you want to stay in your position and get paid more or something? Like, what is the type of like incentive to make you work more or like better, or like how do you want to go about it? Because like if you're clear with like your manager, people are like, oh, like this is kind of where I want to go, and you just kind of make it clear. It's like, oh, like I want to do something similar to you, but not like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna take your job. I just want like I could work on a different team. Be supervisor there.
It does echo how important it is to communicate with
Yeah.
your manager. I know it's like I don't know if this is for every company, but I do know how important it is to have quarterly check-ins with
Yeah,
with
just to
your
see how you're
yeah.
doing,
Yeah, that's
because the
true.
thing is that they are always looking at other people, and then they have their own work, so it's kind
Yeah.
of difficult to keep track of every single person that they're in charge of keeping tabs on.
Yeah, it is true.
So yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you on the spectrum of overperforming or
Or the
underperforming, or
mediocre.
somewhere in the middle? I feel like most people.
Most people, yeah, most.
Somewhere in the middle.
You know what? I will go a step further and say most people are superstars, or try to be
Or super.
or try to be superstars. I don't feel a lot of people sandbag their work.
That's fair. Yeah, I could, yeah, but then like where do the middle of the road people work?
I don't
But
know.
yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.